Alright, welcome back to another Characters on the Wild. Where am I? I'm going to Redtown, which is this adorable, I shouldn't say adorable, intriguing, interesting, inspiring, because those are the adjectives it deserves, little art community, I said little again, art community in Shanghai, just near, where is it near? Hongqiao Road metro station. I keep saying train, because in the US, honestly, we don't have a lot of long distance trains, and a lot of places don't have very good metros. So I'm used to just saying train because there's usually one. Here there's two. Anyway, that's kind of a moot point. So I'm pacing a little bit here and in this really pretty green area. I'm about to cross the street to go into the art area that's called Redtown, and I'll show you the sign and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm going to switch the camera around like the last few walkabout videos, and it'll just be what I'm seeing, not me. Oh, boo-hoo! Anyway, again, the point of these walkabouts on the selfish side is so I can kind of see which characters I'm recognizing, what kind of meaning I can interpret, and if there's any new ones that I can see by using the radicals and the characters that I know already, and see if I can learn any new stuff that way. And giving context to language. Context is huge, and I am smack dab in the middle of a city that uses Chinese all the time. Even though there is a local dialect here, the characters themselves, which are my main priorities in reading, are the same. So, here we go. I'm umming and ahhing a lot. So again, so that's the selfish goal. The unselfish goal is that for people who are learning Chinese, is that you? I would like to share an environment where there's a lot of language around me, in case you would like to see it, use it, screenshot it, make flashcards on it, whatever you'd like to do with this information is great. I'm going to walk around like the previous videos and stop in front of characters, and sometimes try to dissect them, and sometimes just stop so they can be documented. I have a tentative plan to go ahead in a few months and come back to some of these and see if I can recognize more characters, but I haven't quite mapped out how that's going to happen yet. Alright, I'm going to cross the street, which means I'm going to pause. Alright, it's incredibly bright out, so I can't really see what I'm showing you here. Well, I can see it in the wild, but I can't see it through the screen yet. Summer has definitely hit in Shanghai. Anyway, this is a little art community here in Shanghai, again near the Hongqiao Road metro station. Not to be confused with the Hongqiao train station, which is on the same line, the same metro line, but a very, very different location. The train station is much further down. The place I'm ultimately going to go to and work today is to the right. It's a Sculpting in Time is the name of it. It is. For you film buffs, you are correct. It is based, the name is based off of a film. I do not remember the history of it, but I will try to post that down below. Point being that this area has a lot of security guards, apparently. What was I saying? Oh, I'm going to go the long way because I'm actually going to sit down at that cafe for a long time, but I want to show you the different characters that we can find in this adorable art community here, and possibly some of the art that corresponds with that simply by accident. Not completely by accident, it's one of the reasons I'm filming here today. So, this is, I think, a tea shop. Is there any language we can extract from that? I'm really not going to be able to see much today because of the sun. I actually don't reckon. Okay, here we go. This part here by itself is bamboo or grass. No, sorry, it is grass. The ones with the little triangles are bamboo. So there's that. But that is the only character I noticed so far. And I want to give a big shout out to Taylor at Little Linguini for leaving so many copious notes on the which one was that? The Shanghai neighborhood walkabout. She left a lot of really interesting notes interpreting a lot of the stuff on there. And don't be intimidated by her awesomeness. Feel free to leave, even if you notice just one thing, feel free to leave an interpretation for it. Or if you're in a place that has Chinese script, please feel free to leave, if there's any differences in how it's written, or you find a really cool scripty version, feel free, can you leave pictures? tweet it or Instagram it and then leave that link down below. However you want to share this learning process or the sharing of language process, I certainly don't want to stop that creative sharing. So however it works, that's kind of funny. Look at the little bat on the back of his car. That's cool. Oh, this says something too. I don't know if you're going to see that. I think that'll come through. I don't recognize much, and I don't really want to point on something on someone's car. They might have an alarm. I will get more adventurous with breaking space boundaries as time goes on with these videos, I'm sure. So a lot of these buildings are little art galleries. I don't know the full history of it yet. I've just been here a few months and the language barrier is pretty big. So I don't have the ability to ask a lot of questions in Chinese yet. I'm hoping that comes soon. So here's one of the museums. So coming through, it's really bright today. That's the last time I will say that, I promise. There's a makeup for Forever Academy. I'm not seeing a lot of script yet. I'm hoping that changes. Again, we're kind of moving around at throat level for me, my 5'4"-ness. That is in feet and inches for you guys who do metric, which is most of the world. Nope, there's a keypad, but that is not in Chinese, so we're not going to care about that very much. Again, another little art space. Makeup Forever Academy, that's where they are. It's such a cute little area here, and you'll see at the end of the video, the coffee shop that I go to is super cute as well. Super duper cute. Oh, there's some script over here. We originally went to Sculpting in Time, the cafe. There's some script there. We originally went to one in Nanjing, China when we lived there 6 years ago. However, we didn't know there were any in Shanghai. And it seems they have expanded out. I love that graffiti or artwork right there. That's so nice. They've expanded out to Shanghai. We found that out. I love this one right here. British Museum. We found that out because we were working at a test center at a university, and they had a closed down Sculpting in Time cafe, and we were like, what is happening here? So we decided to investigate and see if they had relocated or if they just shut down, and it turns out, oh, here we go. Here's some script. It turns out that they had relocated to the spot where I am right now. So art museum, I don't recognize. The first character in there I kind of recognize. And that's all she wrote. So again, I'm just going to get the script on here. That's a lot of script. And if I sound out of breath, it's about, I want to say 32 degrees Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? Is that in the upper 80s in Fahrenheit? Some temperatures I mostly associate with living in Asia and in their Celsiusness, and I've never actually learned the corresponding Fahrenheit. Number 4. So there's a really cute area, as you can see in here, a really cute little park area. And on the outskirts are all of the museums, and then it starts to be restaurants and cafes. I think there's only one cafe. I think Sculpting's the only one. Anyway, so when we found it, we were super excited just to come to the cafe, and then we realized that there was all this other stuff here as well. So, and I've just barely scratched the surface. I've been in, I think I can walk you through there. We'll see if anybody stops us from filming, but there's a little area in the building that Sculpting's in that has many, many little private galleries or what have you. It's sort of like this warehouse kind of thing, and so you can walk into many, many little individual art spaces in there. So that's the one I've been to. I haven't been to any of these smaller ones yet. Usually when we come out here with the intention, here's some script, with the intention of working on our computers in the cafe. And now that it's getting hotter, I'm not sure how much I'll be walking around out here, because this is just the tip of the humidity iceberg. It's going to get pretty bad. Probably 90 and 90 at least during the summer. That's 90 degrees Fahrenheit and 90% humidity. I don't want to say it in Celsius because I feel like that'll tempt it to happen sooner. Well, we're getting close though. We are getting close. 32 is bad enough. At least in Shanghai we have the breeze. Oh, here, let's see if we can catch fireplace. So here's another gallery. Do we see fire? Yeah. In the second character box, the first radical or character is fire. It's like the person with their hands up trying to leave. I don't really recognize much else of that. Oh, there's a giant push one. If you want to make flashcards out of any of these, feel free to do so. And there's some of the people that are involved in that art museum. Maybe if I finish my work early today, I'll come back here. I'm determined to get my Anki flashcards down for the set of characters that I am tracing in the Chinese tracing app, because I've kind of hit a standstill with the deck that I was using in Anki, and I need new. Another security guard. Wow, why is there so much security on emerging art? What is back here? So here's a whole bunch of script without translation, which ultimately would be kind of fun if I could see it. And there's a frou-frou hat store? What is that? I don't know what that is. Looks pretty neat inside though. I'm not really going to go inside of stuff now. If there's any questions about specific videos, I'd be more of any of the places, any of the walkabouts I'm doing, I'd be more than happy to go back and investigate more. Like even just with the video from the train station that I did yesterday, there's a few nooks and crannies in there I think I could do an entire video on. Probably shorter than the initial video, but even still, I don't think anything's back here. I think this is more of an art workspace, and I do not want to disturb the artists. 3 security guards! I'm the kind of person where if I'm driving even within the speed limit, not breaking any laws, and a policeman pulls up behind me just to get where he needs to go without his lights on or anything, I still get nervous. So yeah, we're gonna pretend like we don't realize there are security guards, and we're gonna keep filming, because that's what we do on this channel. We get used to being out and about. I don't see a lot of language here. Redtown again. They're not yelling at me, they're just talking loudly because they're expressive people. That's what I have to keep telling myself. Okay, so there's sculpting in time. That's our ultimate destination. Here's the tapas place that is pretty popular in Shanghai. I want to check that out. But my gosh, there's so much to do and eat and everything. And there's another coffee shop down there, Roma Republic. I'm still looking for more language to show you, and a lot more museums on this side. Museums or galleries. There's a really fun one at the end here that I'll show you, and that's probably when I'll leave you and go get my coffee. Oh, here we go. Shanghai Sculpture Space. Which of these characters means sculpture? Can I take a guess? Well, the last one is that heart one again. Second to last is Zhong, which is middle. And I know that first one a little bit. I recognize that first one, but I don't remember what it means. If I remember right, there's an interesting film museum down here, like a film history museum. It should be right about here. Oh, here's some language. There you go. And there's an art exhibition called Empty Field at this gallery here. Oh, and there's a new music, books, and culture place. That was not here a few weeks ago when I was here. Okay, here's beautiful script. Script that you can touch. Script that you can touch. This is why I like to do these videos. It says art education, right? So what can I recognize? Let me see if I can get back far enough where you can see the full thing. Oh, without getting run over. There we go. There's the full thing. So what can I recognize here? Oh, this guy here means like human legs, doesn't it? Is that part of education? I don't know. I don't really recognize a lot of those. You can see it's kind of a workspace in there. I hope you can see it. Not just my reflection, but oh, there's a beautiful gallery in there for photography studio. And there's that park again. I really hope this comes out. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to figure out what to do for summer, because it's going to be this hot and bright for a while. There's another cafe. I seriously don't remember that this many cafes the first time I was here. So this is a pretty awesome... Oh, there's a sign here. Here we go. Sign, 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 sign. Now this guy is Ren, which is people, right? And this is open or enclosure. Something like that. I'm gonna check if this is still recording. It is. I hope you enjoyed that piece of ground. Here's an awesome sculpture right here. I know there's no characters on it, but if you could just see how big this thing is. Holy cow. And I think that might be another cafe out there. So this is just such a beautiful little space. And it's never that crowded. Well, I shouldn't say never. Oh, look at that sculpture of the two grannies. Why are two very, very white grannies at this museum? I'm gonna get closer to the grannies because that is some quirky stuff right there. Man, look at the texture on that sculpture. That's amazing. Kind of want to listen to what they're talking about. I don't know where that film one went. Did it switch over to the cafe, or is it still here? Another security guard. Oh, that's really neat. Look, they have all the sculptures of all old cameras and things. And a random car behind it. Okay, here's the film one coming up. I am not delusional. It's coming up here. Oh! Oh no! Okay, well that clearly is not Chinese character, but I guess it makes more sense if you see it. Lovely ashtray and sentiment. Thanks, guys. Feeling a bit inferior with all this art around and you had to create something, but didn't know what? Anyway, I love graffiti when it's beautiful. Like, absolutely love. I collect pictures of graffiti in many forms, but that is not one I will be collecting, because that's kind of bullshit. Oh, okay. As soon as we see this one, we'll go back. I see some stuff on the other side of the street. I don't know if that's script or just Redtown Salon. Do any of those characters jump out at you? That looks like a script that's very hard to read for a beginner for me. And here we go. So here are many, many, many folks that they highlight in this museum. And of course, I don't know that much about Chinese art yet, but I do know a bit about Western. So you've got the Western guys, Picasso and Miro, Dali, Warhol, and there you go. So that's kind of it. That's the entrance again. It says Redtown. I'm just going to cross the street here and look at this amazing creature. I like art. Did you notice that yet? Oh, script! Let me get down and dirty here. What does that top part say? Well, see, it's bilingual, so that's kind of cheating. But is there anything in its bilingualness that isn't translated to its fullest extent? That's the question for the stuff that's bilingual. Is it, not only is it correct, because it's not about right and wrong, it's about is any meaning not conveyed. A lot of stuff in this one looks familiar, but I don't know the meaning of it yet. Whew. So I'm going to pause for a second while I get back over to sculpting and show you the inside of there real quick. I did see a lot of security, so I don't think I'm supposed to do this, but I wanted to show you some of the stuff inside this building that's connected to sculpting in time. I'm just going to put this down a little bit further. Whoa, that's interesting. Just to give you an idea of this place and how amazing it is. I'll wrap up in a minute from somewhere else. Oh wait, maybe I can go further. This place is amazing. This is totally free. It's just the art space attached to the same building that Sculpting in Time is in. Just amazing. Look at that face. Okay, there's absolutely no characters. Oh, there are, but I think that's like names. And that's not what I'm going for right now, my beginning stages of learning. But it looks like there's a lot of local art. And hey, how is that not useful when you're learning a language and a culture? Okay, I see absolutely no script. So I think you've got an idea of the feeling of this place. So I'm gonna go outside and wrap it up outside. Okay, so in that last bit, I was trying to get, there's this really amazing painting on the wall with a whole bunch of people that look like they had signed their comments about it, or I'm not sure entirely. I tried to get it by holding the camera down and not narrating, because there are a lot of security around. But one of the best bits of advice I ever got when I first moved to China, and which I had gotten years and years and years ago, was it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. So I was not about to ask them if I could film, because inevitably they're going to say no. And I get it. But I really wanted to capture that and share that with you. There's a really cool spot. I don't know if any of that was visible, but we'll see in the editing process later. I am now at Sculpting in Time, which is going to show up backwards, I'm sure. Yep, there it goes. That looks very funny backwards. I just want to focus on that for a second. I'm going to go in and get some Anki flashcard work done today. And I hope this has been enjoyable for you, and leave some comments below if there's any particular part of it that you'd like to see more in depth. I doubt going into the actual galleries would be okay to do filming wise, but if there's any other part or any other part of town that you know of that you'd like to see, or anything in China that you'd like to see, I do travel around quite a bit for work, so I'm open to suggestions on different things to do for characters in the wild, and different characters that we can find for you, so we can all learn this language, which isn't as difficult as we think, right? It can't be. It's just a language. Language is used to communicate, it's used to convey meaning. Let's find some meaning. Alright, I'm being all cheesy and stuff, so I'm gonna go work now. Bye! So I guess I should show you some of the cafe. I don't really want to share this cafe with you because I like how empty it is a lot of the times. So they've got all kinds of good stuff here, including the siphon, lots of treats, some other things I generally don't partake in because I would not be able to do the step here. Oh, here's the step. And there's all kinds of stuff. Coffee tasting wheel. That's unfortunately in English though, so that's not really going to help us. Oh, there's a sign there. Do you recognize anything there? A cute little area here. More script there, and down there. I have a feeling that's going to be all we can see from here. And now I'm just going to go get a seat over there and get some work done. Thanks for joining me today. Consequently, I ordered what I thought was an ice cold brew concoction, and I wasn't quite sure why it was costing 68 kwai, but here's what I got. It looks like there's iced, probably cold brew there, some milk, I think that's sugar, and that looks like a coffee ice ball. Oh, this is going to be a good work session. As you can see, it is now about, I want to say about 2 hours later, and the ice has dripped through the coffee into the bottom, which I believe was the cold brew method that was used in the items that I got and showed you earlier in the video. Pretty awesome stuff. Different than the cold brew I make at home, where I just put the grounds into water and leave it overnight. But I guess there's many, many ways to make cold brew. I'm just impressed by the architecture of that siphon, is what it's called, right? I think the inside part is called siphon. Anyway, pretty cool stuff.